That was when Unionist paramilitary Michael Stone began his attack. The crowd was unsure what was happening at first. There was confusion, screams and mounting hysteria as the injured began to fall. Many in the crowd began to pursue Stone in selfless attempts to disarm him. Stone, evidently surprised by this, pulled out a pistol and opened fire. He continued to retreat towards the M1 motorway at the bottom of Milltown. As the crowd followed Stone towards the motorway, many people noticed a white van parked on the hard shoulder. Stone was making his way towards it when it suddenly sped away.
Yeah, there's another grenade.
Michael Stone tried to stop several vehicles at gunpoint to make his escape, but he was unsuccessful and Republicans finally reached him. He was knocked to the ground and disarmed. It was only then that the RUC arrived and intervened, threatening the crowd with plastic bullet guns in order to pull Stone away from them to safety. At the end of the attack, 3 people lay dead: Thomas McErlane, John Murray, and IRA volunteer Kevin Brady. A further 60 people were injured by shrapnel or gunshot wounds, among them a 10-year-old boy who was shot in the back as he tried to take cover, a grandmother with wounds to her stomach, and a pregnant mother of 4. But had it not been for the courageous actions of those who pursued Stone that day, the toll would have been much higher. A reporter from the Irish Times, who had been in attendance at the funerals that day, said of the actions of those who tried to prevent Stone, "This was not simply bravery. This was a heroism which in any other circumstances, I have no doubt, would have won the highest military decorations." The blood was running down my face. Then I knew, then I was hitting the arm, and it was a man that pulled me across the ground to get me. He held me.
Do you think that this type of thing will stop people going to such funerals in the future?
Oh no, I don't think so, no. We'll just keep on going then, like.
I decided to go along to pay my respects. That's fine. Would you go again? Yes, I would.
There never was an inquest into the death of the 3 Milltown victims. If there had have been, it would have revealed that they were killed with weapons that were part of a shipment of arms from South Africa, organised by British agent Brian Nelson. British intelligence, as part of their collusion policy, had allowed most of the shipment to be delivered unhindered into the hands of Unionist paramilitaries. There had been roadblocks in place all day within yards of the M1 exits at Kennedy Way and Broadway. The graveside oration and burials had taken place within sight of cameras mounted on top of Andersonstown Barracks and the Broadway tower block, but no Crown forces emerged to protect the crowd nor apprehend the gunman. The 2 guns used in the attack were recovered not by the RUC nor the British Army, but by the IRA, who put them on display on the front page of Unpublic. A statement issued by the Belfast Brigade of the IRA said, "It is no coincidence that the first funeral to be unaccompanied by Crown forces in 18 years was the occasion for a carefully planned loyalist attack. Clearly, the attackers were informed by someone or some persons in the Crown forces about the strategy which was to be adopted by the RUC and British Army. There was collusion." The day after the Milltown attack, volunteer Kevin McCracken was laid to rest. In spite of the danger and tensions, there was a massive turnout for his funeral. Security was tight, and his funeral passed off peacefully. On the 19th of March, the funerals of those murdered in Milltown Cemetery by Michael Stone took place.
Oh, farewell, streets of sorrow, and farewell, you streets of pain. I'll not return to feel more sorrow, not to see more young men slain. So farewell, you streets of sorrow. No, I'll not return to feel more sorrow.
IRA volunteer Kevin Brady's funeral began quietly enough. Republican stewards with two-way radios monitored the funeral cortege as it inched along the Andersonstown Road.
So farewell, you streets of sorrow, and farewell.
But as the procession reached Casement Park, a car with two male occupants drove directly towards the crowd. The car had ignored previous warnings from stewards, and although the driver could clearly see the cortege up ahead of him, he took no opportunity to turn off onto a side street. Instead, he accelerated at high speed and mounted a footpath, narrowly missing several of those who had gathered to line the route. The car then quickly reversed, but was cut off by several black taxis, which were at the head of the cortege. Believing the funeral was under attack, men began to surround the vehicle. One of the occupants produced a handgun and opened fire. The crowd pulled back for a second before confronting the occupants again. Volunteers of the IRA arrived on